Talk about this other poll, George Barna poll from April 2025, and I came across it online. It says most Americans. Talk about this other poll, George Barna poll from April 2025, and I came across it online. It says most Americans, including most Christian churchgoers, reject the Trinity. Tell us about this poll and the results.
Yeah, so George Barna is very famous. He's been doing these polls for a long time, and he's been praised for the rigorous aspects of his polls and how objective he is. And so this just last year, 2025, okay? And so he surveyed over 2,000 people. They were Americans. And out of his survey, only 11% of American adults believed in the doctrine of the Trinity. And he was able to break it down into a bunch of other different subcategories. Like for those that were self-professed Christians, that were Christian American adults, it was only 16%, and that's 1 out of 6. Okay. And then he has other categories as well. If they were identified as a born-again Christian, it would be 24%, so like 1 out of 4. If they attended a Protestant church, it was 20%, so that's 1 out of 5. If they attended a Catholic church, surprisingly, it was actually only 9%. That was kind of the lowest group right there. But out of all those, it's very clear that the title of his results is correct. Most Christians, including Christian churchgoers, reject the Trinity in the year 2025.
This is just absolutely front page news, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Absolutely front page news.
Yeah. Believers in the Trinity are in the minority in America.
Like every time you say it, I'm just like, is that really true? Like, it's so incredible. Like, I have my suspicions, and I have like anecdotal data because my mom had grown up Southern Baptist in Southern Ohio and Virginia, North Carolina, so, a lot of strong Christians there. And she never believed in the Trinity. When she was first approached by somebody who questioned her on this, she's like, yeah, I don't believe in that. She's like, yes, you do. You're an evangelical. Like, come on. And she's like, no, I never learned. I really don't know what you're talking about. What is this 3-in-1, 3-person? Why are you calling God a person? She just didn't get it. And it's like, well, that's one data point. But when we look at these surveys, we're talking about thousands of people. We're talking about rigorous statistical methodology by, professionals. Like George Barna, the company, is absolutely top level as far as like their methodology, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's huge. And then you also talked about this other one. I think it was Ligonier, which was the ministry of R.C. Sproul, State of Theology survey from September of 2025. What did they find?
Yeah, it's interesting. We get 2 polls on this question in the year 2025. And so it was really, really fun to publish those results. And so this poll was actually far more extensive. They surveyed over 3,000 people. And they would ask various questions about, what do you believe about the Father? What do you believe about the Son? What do you believe about the Holy Spirit? And of course, you had to, in order to be qualified as an authentic Trinitarian, you have to agree with a bunch of propositions on all of these different things. So it's not like, do you believe in the Trinity or do you not believe in the Trinity? They found that's not helpful. They asked questions. Do you believe something specific about the Father, about the Son, about the Spirit, and about the 3 of them? And
so you have to have multiple yeses in order for that to qualify as like a possible Trinitarian. Yeah. That's really smart.
So they would ask questions like, do you believe that God is 3 persons? And they would, do you strongly agree, neutral, somewhat disagree, or strongly disagree? Do you believe that Jesus is God? Do you believe that the Spirit is a personal being? And of course, you had to answer yes to all these questions. Those are just a few of them. But out of those that answered yes to all the questions that are required to be a Trinitarian, turned out that it was only like 1 in 4 people. It was like roughly 25%. And I think I'm actually rounding up there based on my math. Yeah, 25% of the 3,000 surveyed knew enough of the correct answers to claim to believe in what it takes to be an authentic Trinitarian.
Wow. That's just incredible.
Why are you starting to see 3? Where they change the accuser to fall?